Zero, this is the first time I've had you on the channel, bro. Like, I'm actually really excited. Like I was telling you
Yeah, me
off
too.
camera, bro. This is nice. I feel like we're way overdue for a conversation. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel like yeah, I think we kind of think on the same wavelength on
Yeah,
certain
we.
things.
I think, especially with this topic, right? Like, I think that um, we're looking at this from two different angles, but I think we're coming to similar conclusions. Which is kind of how Glenn and I are a lot of the time too. Um,
Mhm.
Jay, I'm excited to have you on because you've had a lot of really interesting takes when it comes to Fortnite content lately, which is going to be a huge part of this conversation. And then Loot, you and I have had a million conversations behind the scenes, talking about like what we think is going on. Is Loot even here, or did he walk off?
I'm tickling. Yeah, I'm tickling.
Okay, you're here. Okay, thank God. I heard some in the background, so I wasn't sure if you were if that was you walking around or if you were actually at your mic. But there's a lot of discourse going on in the community about Fortnite dying, Fortnite being dead. We've all heard this a million times. The conversation's kind of tired. However, what I have noticed is that this year there are some things that do seem to be a little different. We're coming up on Fortnite's 8th birthday, which is a huge milestone. But there are some things that I feel like culturally with the game are kind of lacking, or kind of hurting to a certain degree. But before we get into all of that good stuff, I wanted to get everybody's perspectives on how they feel about Fortnite and how they feel about this overall conversation of, oh, Fortnite's dying or Fortnite's player count is super low and all that. And Zero, since you're new, this is your first time on the channel, let's start with you first. Let's get, you honestly, you are the reason why I really wanted to have this talk today, because I've been watching your videos a lot recently. I've been talking about certain things you've been saying on stream, but I want to hear your perspective straight from you. That way I don't misconstrue you.
So I would say that.
Okay, wait, are you? Oh, okay.
Loot's trolling. Loot, shut up! God.
I'm sorry.
I was so confused. I was
he needs attention.
Luke will do this a lot.
Yeah, get ready.
Okay, that's cool. But I think I've said this in my videos before, but with like when people say the game is like dying, I think we need a like concrete definition of what that means. Does that mean like community interests? Does that mean player counts? Does that mean like social media content views? Like performance of videos online? Like what does that mean?
What do you think? What do you Oh, you're asking me what I think it means?
Yeah.
Well, I personally don't think Fortnite's dying. But are you asking me what I think the community means when they say that?
No, yeah. That's what I mean, yeah.
Well, when I hear people say that, I think, and I love him. I love him. I'm just gonna call him out, Cyan. Cyan is the is the stereotype. Generally speaking, is the stereotype. Like, he even put out this video that he put out last week. It's an hour-long video, where he's talking about like why he left Fortnite and all that. Cyan's perspective is, generally speaking, is the one that I think of when people think that Fortnite's dying. They think that because of the metaverse, because of all the new modes, because of everything that Fortnite's doing now, Tim Sweeney ruined Fortnite. Epic Games is lazy. The player counts are super low. The game's not the same anymore. There's too many collabs. Like the typical Twitter arguments you hear over and over and over and over again. That's what I think of when I that's what I think the community means when they say that. But
okay, so so you're asking me what I think. Sorry, what was the question again? What I think when people say that, or
so
why do I
kind of want to get your general perspective on how you feel about where Fortnite is at right now. Do you feel like there's once again, there is the discourse of Fortnite is dying, right? And you can weigh in on that, but I'm kind of curious about how you feel about the game. Do you feel like everything is exactly the same as it was as it's been for the last couple of years? Do you feel like anything's changed for the worse? Like, where is your mindset at when it comes to the game?
I think in terms of like, if we're just gonna take it at like face value, like the gameplay, I think this season and last season have been like some of the best seasons that we've ever had. I thought there was like different mechanics. I mean, just specifically with, I mean, even in like season 1 with the masks, like I thought that was really different. You know, in season 3 we had I feel like with this season in particular too, just kind of rambling a little bit here. I think they really like committed to this theme. And that's something that I'll say a lot in my videos is I hate when Fortnite has a really like cool theme and then they'll change like 1 or 2 POIs. You know what I mean? Like the Galactic Battle season, like that was supposed to be like Star Wars's moment, and they
Yeah.
just added like a few POIs. But with this season, you were seeing the like bugs taking over different POIs. They have big areas. So like in that sense, with the gameplay, I think it's in a great spot.
Hmm. Gameplay is one aspect, and I would agree with you 100%. Like, and that's what like Loot and I kind of talk about a lot too, right? It's like it's so weird because the game, from a gameplay standpoint, main BR feels amazing. Like you said, last season I played that season more than I played, I feel like, any season in the last couple of years. It was so much fun. They did. I think that's like one of the better superhero themed seasons that we've had. Those kill switch dualies and those
Oh,
gauntlets,
yes.
the music like those were both just fire for
The
rotation, for
res
movement,
cube.
gameplay. But I will admit, outside of the gameplay, it does feel like there's a few things that, from my perspective, that are a little lacking at the moment. But it's not gameplay, and that's the thing. That's what makes this conversation weird, and what's going to require a lot of nuance, because it does feel like there are some elements that are off. Loot, I want to go to you since I brought you up. How are you feeling
Oh no,
about
no,
the?
no, no! I don't want to talk. I'm scared. I'm gonna pee myself if I talk.
Oh my god, bro! I swear to
Okay.
God, if you don't get your act together and start talking,
Okay, fine, 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 fine.
I'm gonna bring Percy
Too
back in
late.
here.
Too late. Okay, I'm
Go.
sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Go, bro. Talk. You got the floor. Go.
What was the question?
You see what you do? You see how you just waste time? Okay. How are you feeling about the state of Fortnite right now, from your perspective?
Oh god.
Same thing as
The big
prozero.
question.
I asked him.
The big question. Okay. I think gameplay is great. I just feel like Fortnite needs to have more of a purpose to play it. You know, it's fun, right? But I feel like there needs to be more of a like wins. They mean nothing anymore, right? I feel like that's an issue, and I feel like there needs to be more. How do I say this? So I forgot what we were talking about. I'm sorry.
There's no way. Are you grinding XP right now?
Sorry, I just had to kill someone. What did you say?
Okay. I'm gonna go to Mr. JLY. Jay, please unmute yourself. Holy crap. Jay, are you paying attention?
Vaguely. I think we need going back to the whole Fortnite dying. It's a very go-to phrase, and it's kind of overused, and it doesn't really mean anything anymore. It's kind of it's so vague.
Yeah.
And as you said, there's so much nuance to the whole thing. It's a little vague.
Well, how do you feel? But how do you feel about Fortnite as a game right now, just overall? Do you think that there's? Do you think what do you think's lacking, if anything? Do you think that we're going through like a similar cycle that we've gone through before with the game?
Most probably, yes. Summer cycle, player numbers are less, people doing more stuff. I suppose it will pick up towards the Christmas run-in, and obviously Fortnite Mares, as it always does. But actually wanted to play the game, I'm fine. I mean, a thing I've noticed, and the thing I hear people say is, I feel like they expect so much from these games nowadays, and it's not just a Fortnite thing. It's like we will grind, like we've been playing Lego Odyssey a lot, and I've been enjoying it. Or we play OG, and after a few hours, you're kind of done with the game, and then I'm like, but that's normal. That's what people used to do: game for a few hours and go. And it's almost like people are expecting 6-7 hours of a gaming session, and it's like, well, that isn't going to
imagine
happen.
playing that long. That's just amazing.
Okay, well, I'm sorry, that wasn't a point towards you, LOOTSTATION, but
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
You called him out specifically. Go ahead.
But
Jay.
I feel like people were expecting too much from a game, and they need a break from it. They need natural breaks.
What do y'all think
feel like-
everybody's expecting the game to be at this point? Because that's
that's the question.
what is Fortnite supposed to do? You know,
I feel like people are expecting everything just to be given to them in it for it to all be perfect.
I don't even think it's like that. I think there's a lot of people who play Fortnite. And like even Clark has said in like his streams and his videos and stuff, like even just the people that are like in his stream, like us right here, like we're part of a very small minority of people that play the game. And I think there's a lot of people who want to play Fortnite a lot of different ways. So trying to satisfy like everyone, you know what I mean, is gonna be difficult.
It's just not possible anymore. And honestly, I think that's probably one of the things to Fortnite's detriment right now. In a way, it's like I feel like there's too much going on with the game. Um, like I think that once again, gameplay wise. So one argument I used to have all the time back when we were like specifically looking at metaverse, like okay, Lego Rocket Racing Festival. Everybody's upset that it's in the game. I'm like, okay, well, how is it negatively impacting BR? Well, it's taking away resources. Then we got something like Wrecked, where I'm like, there's no possible way any of these other games are taking away resources, because like even if you don't like the content that's being given, Wrecked was like the first return to form in about a year and a half, where it's like, okay, super consistent updates, crazy loot pool, tons of stuff just being like content being like thrown at us, to a point that you brought up though, Zero. I think one of the detriments of Wrecked was that it didn't commit to the bit. It didn't commit to the season theme. It's like, okay, we're going to have this crazy Mad Max wild car season. And hey, guess what? Pirate ships. That's what everybody wants. You want to be able to throw down a pirate ship while also fighting a car. It's like, no, I don't. What about like more car attachments? Like, I understand that you had to throw Pirates of the Caribbean in. You had to do the Disney collab, whatever. But it's just like, it felt like midway through the season, they kind of just dropped it, which is like, even you compare like last year to this year, gameplay wise, it seems like they polished everything up so much. Last season, this season, it's like the theming from the battle pass to the updates to the collabs, everything was very consistent and fleshed out. So it's just like, I feel like people are still thinking to a certain degree that we're in Fortnite fracture to like early chapter 4 levels of content, and like they're hating on the game like it's like we're back there, like we're getting no live events or anything. It's just, I don't know, it's a weird conundrum to me. But like I said, I don't really know what people are expecting from the game right now.
Struggle to put your finger on what actually, from a content creator's point of view, you're trying to be a balanced take, and it's like, oh, what are other people seeing, and how many other ways they are seeing it?
Mm-hmm.
Like, just look at this update, for example. We got obviously all the Lego confirmation with the red OG confirmation with the red cube. Even Ballistic look like it's got some cool maps going on, and they finalized a few bits there. It looks pretty good. So we got a chunk of new stuff.
Mm-hmm.
People may also bring up the fact that a few days prior, loads of things got taken out, but I guess we get on that later. But Fortnite's doing well. It's just, if you don't like it, you just don't like it. I think some people might have to just accept that.
Yeah.
I think one thing too is that like the modern Fortnite is a very, very different game from Chapter 1 Fortnite.
Mm-hmm.
Like completely different. So a lot of the people who are being really loud about like Fortnite isn't the same, it'll never be the same. I don't like I do this in my videos, but I don't really like comparing things to Chapter 1, because it's like it's literally like it shouldn't even be still called Fortnite. It's so different. You know what I mean? Like it's just not the same game. You know what I mean?
What do you think?
Metaverse.
What do you think the biggest differences are outside of like the metaverse? Are you talking like just looking at BR? Like how do you feel like the game is completely different?
I think well, first of all, like if we're just going to talk about mechanically, I mean, we have vehicles. When I played in Chapter 1, I thought that was never going to happen. That was a big
Mhm.
like controversy. Vehicles. We've got like physics differences, so like just like you talked about with the dual revolvers that slowed you down. Just the way people play, like movement specifically was like like the way that we move around in the game now, and that players just like play rotations and things
Mhm.
like that are completely were non-existent in Chapter 1. Like the games were so much slower back then, and it's a very, very fast-paced game now, in my opinion.
It and see, once again, this kind of goes back to Jay's point, because yes and no, right? Like some days the game does seem kind of fast paced, but I can remember times back in Chapter 1, specifically like the season 7, season 8 era, where games are way faster than they are now. I was getting into fights every few seconds because Siphon was in the game. I'm getting pushed nonstop by it. It's not like that all the time. If you get a lobby that's lower on the bot end, like when you get in those higher elo lobbies, it's kind of like that. But generally speaking, like I've had days where me, Dag, Clen, JoJo, or Loot, like we're playing squads, and we're just like walking around playing like loot simulator. Like we're just farming loot, farming mats to get into one fight or a couple of fights. Like it seems like damn near 7 minutes. It's like the gameplay is insanely slow sometimes. But then I get the weird thing is I get comments from people being like, I have no idea how y'all are getting in these lobbies because all my lobbies are sweaty. All I do is fight sweats all day. So it's like I said, it's going to Jay's point where it's like there's so many different experiences with Fortnite, even within the same game, that it's hard to pinpoint like what's actually happening because not everybody is experiencing that. But to your point, though, to not make what you're saying walk on all fours, I get where you're coming from because, yeah, the game is different. And that's because really the players are different. We like the gameplay. The gameplay and the mechanics evolved because the player base evolved. Like there was no way that the game was going to be able to stay the same when like the skill gap just kept getting higher and higher and higher. You know, it's like and that's why I always tell people like even if they were to recreate OG 1 for 1, it would still never be like it was. It can't be. It's just it's like the players are just way too different right now. But in that aspect, I get what you mean by like the game is completely different. Like what you're talking about, you know, from the player base. But I think that to me, the game still feels like Fortnite. It's just that like this is I don't think the world's ever seen another game like this. This is probably like, and I know TS will probably get mad at me because he's a Helldivers glazer, but like this is probably the best live service game that like the world's ever seen, arguably. Yeah, you know, like there's been so many iterations, so many different versions, you know? I don't know. There was crap. See, there's something else I was going to ask you. Somebody take over for a second while I think about what I wanted to say next. Somebody piggyback off that.
Talking about, I wanted to bring up Roblox because I've seen a few people in your chat bring up like Roblox and stuff, and that's a conversation that I had in one of my recent videos. What other game, like I'm genuinely asking, has there ever been any other game that has tried to rival what Roblox does?
I can't think of one
Like
that's
on
trying to
that
rival
scale?
Roblox, no.
Like, so I think, in my opinion, I think what Fortnite did in terms of like changing like how their game is viewed or attempting to change how their game is viewed is like is a really ballsy move, especially with how much money they were putting in, not even just like in paying out like payouts to creators and people who make maps, but just in the promotional material. You know what I mean? I feel like that's, and what makes it so great too is that if Fortnite wants to, like, I guess like metaphorically give up on the metaverse, they always have battle royale to fall back onto. They have, you know, they've like changed the way that people play battle royale with blitz and reload and things like that. I mean, some of that stuff is copied from other games, but you get what I mean. Like Fortnite is still like the battle royale game. So even if the metaverse doesn't work out, like a lot of people think it won't, which I think it will.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter. You know what I mean?
Well, if Fortnite's just a battle royale game, it's not competing with Roblox at all.
It's not competing with Roblox yet, but that's what they're
Oh no,
trying
but
to do.
but I'm saying
Well,
if it's just a battle royale game, it's never competing with Roblox.
Yeah. That's
right.
I wasn't trying to say that right now. Like people like.
Oh yeah,
that's
no.
what I was, like even then, like when people, like I said in my video, when people were comparing Roblox to Fortnite, like in the way of saying Roblox has 50 million players a day and Fortnite has 2 million. It's like that's just unfair. You know what I mean? So
yeah. Well, the thing is, I didn't realize that. Okay, so Roblox has been out for 19 years. So that means Roblox came out when I was 11. I had no idea that Roblox was as that old. I was like, damn.
Yeah, they're old, like really old. And, like there's even, I think they started developing like in the like late 90s.
That's crazy. So a company with that much history that's got that many roots in gaming for 2 decades, basically, right? To compare to the 8-year come up game, it's not a complete fair comparison.
Exactly.
However, here's the thing about it though. The other thing that I feel like kind of makes this unfair is like Roblox. This is the biggest difference between Roblox and Fortnite. Roblox never had a base game. And that's like a big issue that not enough people, I feel like, talk about. The fact that like the base game is it. First of all, the base game that everyone thinks about is not even the original direction for Fortnite in the first place. It was the original Fortnite was supposed to be Save the World. Then it became a BR, and now BR is what the game's known for. And Zero, like you were saying, it won the BR wars, right? Like Fortnite is the BR, but like Fortnite has a base game that it got popular for, that everybody knows that game for, and then it tried to create UGC content and create a whole UGC ecosystem. But that entire UGC ecosystem is based on its core game. And the thing is, even for creators that want to get away from like their game feeling like Fortnite, they can't, because regardless of like whatever horror map you make, whatever explore like adventure game you make, it's gonna still feel like Fortnite. And that's
Exactly.
that's kind of like, if you're not invested in like the Fortnite gameplay loop, that can be a barrier to entry if you're trying to like look for more UGC content outside of Roblox. And I don't think like enough people consider that. Like, it's gonna take Fortnite some time to get people
Yes,
on board with the
exactly.
idea of, playing their game not for the battle royale, to disassociate the BR from user generated content.
There's a few
Like,
games now in Fortnite that don't look like Fortnite, to be fair.
It's not about matter of not looking like Fortnite, but there's still like, even when you play those games, I would argue there's still like some of that Fortnite feeling there. Like it's like you're in the Matrix. Like, I know what you're trying to be, but at the end of the day, I also know that this is still like Fortnite. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but how can they not do? How can they avoid that? I don't understand how they can avoid that. So I get what you mean, but what can they do
the way
about
that
that?
they avoid that is it's literally just going to take years and years and years of commitment and them standing firm and saying we are going to commit to this metaverse until literally new generations of people start playing Fortnite without thinking about it as a battle royale game. Like,
Mhm.
younger siblings of mine do not view Fortnite as a battle royale like shooting game. They view it as like a Roblox type game. It's literally just going to take years of commitment and years of building up that reputation. You know what I mean? Like, when you
Yeah.
think of Roblox, like just off the top, like Roblox and Minecraft, you immediately know what to think of. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
It's just gonna take a long time, and they just have to commit to it. And that's gonna take, like I said, like that's gonna take balls because it's not very successful, in comparison to what they're trying to be right now.
Right. So here's the thing, because I'm so happy we're on this part of the conversation about like
No, can I just say about
No! I'm joking. Go ahead, Jay.
It's more than just problems with the game itself in terms of like Roblox. Obviously, Fortnite has massive platform issues, and that's why obviously you got the Thin client, which they're trying to push out, which will obviously help downloads. Obviously, the mobile issue with Fortnite,
Mhm.
and obviously Roblox doesn't have that issue. Obviously that affects downloads. So if they can sort out a few things, make the game smaller, um, sort issues out with mobile across EU and I guess Central America, and then go North America, and then go from there as well.
Yeah. I think that Fortnite not being on mobile for a while definitely hurt it quite a bit.
Yeah.
That's like, you got to think Roblox didn't have that issue, like you were saying, Jay. Like Roblox has been on mobile for pretty much the entire time that Fortnite wasn't, or for the entire time that Fortnite wasn't, plus whatever before that. So you have to think about that. Like, my niece, the way she interacts with Roblox is through like her iPad. Fortnite is still
Yeah.
it's still limited to on devices and other parts of the world. Like the US, we have it, but how many other markets are not being able to tap into Fortnite because of the lack of accessibility? The second thing too, to touch on something else Jay said, is the Then client. Like, I don't think people understand how big of a deal the Then client is, and also
Yes.
how much
Yeah.
more free that's going to make Epic. When the Then client is created, that's going to allow people just to download like the thing that they want from Fortnite. So then because of that, they can actually better compete with Roblox, because then they can market each mode individually. You don't have to say find it in Fortnite. Now this is Fortnite UGC, Fortnite user generated content, Fortnite creative, or if they wanted to step away from the name of Fortnite, they could potentially rebrand it there too, right? But the thing is, they'll be free to do that, because kids that play Roblox can also now download just the Fortnite creative section without having to do an 80 gigabyte download or 60 gigabyte, whatever it would be, on their iPad, which majority of these kids, they don't have the memory for it. Like, people don't understand, like, a lot of people have to pick and choose what games they have saved on their consoles or their devices, right? Like, most people can't have Fortnite and Call of Duty and Battlefield and Minecraft and Roblox all on one. You can't do it. You've got to pick.
Isn't Roblox a thingy game anyway?
Say it again.
What is Roblox? Is it a desktop game or a browser game or
Everything.
It's everything.
Yeah.
exactly?
can
Well,
be a
that's
browser game.
yeah. God, if you you cannot compete with Roblox in
Like,
that sense. Then.
yeah, like Roblox on consoles on my PS5 is like 5 or 6 gigabytes. So
Yeah,
That's
But
wild.
wasn't Fortnite the biggest? Wasn't Fortnite the biggest game though?
It was like 8 years ago, 7 years ago.
wait, you mean like in like size, like how
No,
big it is
like
gameplay?
the most played game of all time. Like it beat Roblox. That's why I think it's being compared to Roblox because it's taken over again. Because Fortnite was like the top game. No one
but you
could
know
top
what
it.
people said
But
back
now
then?
it seems...
People would say, "Oh yeah, but that doesn't mean it's a good game." But now Roblox is top. It means Fortnite's a rubbish game, so you can't win.
Okay.
You can't win.
Let's have those people play Grow a Garden and Steal a Brain Rot and see what they have
Yeah,
to say.
Yeah. Here's the thing. What's funny about like thinking back to that era, because I remember there were a couple of conversations when it came to Fortnite back then. I remember the first comparison was Minecraft. Everyone's like, "Oh, Minecraft is a better game than fuck Fortnite. It's about Minecraft." It's like, okay, but bro, yes, Fortnite was technically in some ways based off of Minecraft, right? But it's a completely different experience. People didn't start really comparing Fortnite to Roblox until the rumors of creative started popping out. So you're talking like late season 3 to early season 4.
There was kind of some comparisons when people were making like Fortnite ripoffs in Roblox, because I'm pretty sure there was one that like was doing really, really well during chapter 1.
I do remember that.
Sure.
I can't
remember what it was called.
I think
Wasn't it
Cypher
like
played it.
Block?
Yeah,
Block, wasn't it called or something?
Something like that, yeah. I remember a lot of the big content creators making videos on it. Like they were.
Yeah, I remember. I even played that. It wasn't great at all.
It looked jank, but I mean, once again, you could get Fortnite and technically you get Fortnite and Roblox, where they all like the Jonesy knockoff skins and everything.
Yeah.
But Fortnite is all like it was the #1 game for a while, yeah. But Roblox played the long game. See, when I guarantee you, when Fortnite got removed from the Apple Store and the Google Play Store, Roblox is like, oh, yeah, no, now we can grab that market share. You know, like they stepped in where Fortnite wasn't able to be, and that's part of the reason why Roblox kind of started taking over. So now, like, once again, that goes back to the point that we were saying earlier, like Fortnite, because it was, I guess, for lack of a better phrase, neutered for so long, right? It was restricted for so long, and it still is. They've got to. It's going to be probably a couple of years before we can really get the momentum to see like really strong numbers or stronger numbers than what we're seeing now, because they still have a fight to get back on mobile devices around the rest of the planet. You know, that's huge.
I think that's why Blitz. Sorry.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I think that's why Blitz was like mainly targeted towards mobile players too.
Yeah.
Because of the ads and the trailers and stuff. But just to go back to Thin Client real quick, just for a second.
Yeah.
I don't think people also understand that will solve a lot of the UI complaints too.
Mm-hmm.
Because not only will it separate each mode, but it'll make it to where each UI is tailored to each mode. And even like the item shops, like I don't know exactly how they're going to do it. I'm not behind the scenes, but like we could even see, you know, all the BS that people don't like, that's not battle royale stuff in the shop, go to these other places, like each individual shops. You know what I mean? That could be a game changer, completely kill all the conversations that people and the like anger that people have about the UI right now too.
I'll be honest, I wasn't that upset about the UI until like the last couple of days. Like it took me a while to kind of like think it through.
I helped you with that.
Thank you, Lou.
Yeah, to be honest, I don't really care all that much about like stuff like that. Like as long as it works, like as long as I'm not trying to like go to one thing and it keeps like moving me to a different place, or like I literally cannot navigate to it, I really don't care. But I understand where people are like coming from.
Now that I'm not on controller, here's the thing. Now that I'm not on controller, it's way easier for me to navigate. Controller on PC was always glitchy with navigation. Yeah. Like you try to tab over and it would tab you back to something. Scrolling through your friends list, like you try to scroll down and it automatically scrolls back up if you let go of your thumbstick or the D-pad. It's not optimized very well for controller. Or maybe that's just my controller. I don't know. But that's been with the 2 different controllers that I've had, or 3, that was the experience I always had with trying to navigate like the menu on Fortnite. But I think like what I really noticed the last few days is like sometimes it can be really hard to find something. Like Loot pointed out to me, like they're changing the thumbnails on everything constantly. Everything's so cluttered. It's just like it's tons of stuff just being thrown in your face every 5 seconds. It's not very. I don't want to say necessarily that it's not user friendly, but it doesn't look organized. It doesn't look cohesive, and I think it's part of the problem is I quite frankly I just think Fortnite has too much stuff. Like I think just looking at like Epic's what like the Epic made modes, I think Fortnite needs to dial back on quite a few. I am starting to think that like I think they've done a little bit too much. And there's something that I found out through my research today that kind of supports that. And honestly, the funny thing about this is I didn't have this perspective until today. And prozero, this is something that you've been talking about in your videos quite a bit recently, where it's about player counts, right? Because that's the thing that everybody likes to talk about is the player counts. I went and did some research on the player counts because one thing that you said in your video that I originally disagreed with was that, oh, we're going through the same cycle. It's the same thing that we go through every year. My understanding, not doing enough research and paying attention to Twitter comments, was that, no, hold on, the player counts are lower this year than they have been in the past by a significant margin. Well, it's not quite that simple. It's, once again, surprising that Twitter lacks nuance. It's a bit more nuanced than that. And so this is what I wanted to do with chat and with you guys. I want to share with you guys my findings because I looked at 2 different websites to get the data that we're going to go over. But regardless of the site that you're looking at, the numbers are pretty close to one another. Let me see, which one do I want to start with? I'm going to start with, hang on, let me do this one.
Tickle?
We're going to do this one. So everybody damn it, Loop. Everybody loves Fortnite.gg, right? We all love a good Fortnite.gg.
Yeah.
Let me see here. So I'm gonna share with you guys first. We're gonna share this screen, and in chat, I'm gonna share this with y'all. So this is the chart that everybody loves to look at on Fortnite.gg. Okay, this is a screenshot that I took earlier today. Okay, the top number, or the top number, the top line are the peaks in the player count, right? This is all the peaks. The bottom line is the average player count. Now, when you're looking at this on Fortnite.gg, it's very easy to gaslight yourself into thinking that things are worse than they are. Because what you do is you take your mouse, you'll scroll over all these points. You're like, July 24th of last year, it was 1.3 million. And then around the same time this year, it's 1.1 million. The issue is, instead of looking at this chart, what's important is you need to look at the averages for the entire month, for each individual month, not the days, the month, because some days it is going to be low and then some days it's going to be high from all 3 years that we have worth of data. I think the data goes all the way back to April. It's either April or May of 2023. That's when player accounts first started being looked at. But what I have here are and I'm going to share this with you guys in a second too. Hold on. What I have here are the stats on the player counts. So the average daily, what we want to pay attention to are the average dailies. And what we want to do is we want to compare. Let me switch. Let me do this. Hold on.
Just for clarification, where did this come from?
This one here. So the first one was Fortnite.gg. I just changed the screen. This one right here is from, and I double checked this with Fortnite.gg's numbers. They were off by like maybe 5 to 8K at most between each month, but it's pretty similar. But this was activeplayer.io is where I got these stats from.
Gotcha.
I don't know how accurate they are, but they were pretty close to GG stats. And I also have GG's average dailies as well for the same time frame. But this is what's important to pay attention to. So let's look at last year. When did Rect come out? June, right?
Yes, I think so.
June of last year. So yeah, June of last year. Let's go from June. Let's do this. We're gonna go from May to July, because that's what August's numbers aren't done yet. So we're gonna look at May to July. Okay. So May, we had on average it was 1,180,000 players. In June it was 1,260,000 players. July on average it was 1,160,000 again. Okay, roughly. Let's look at this year for this time frame. May, 1,048,000. Lower, but not by a ridiculous degree from May of the previous year. right? It's a little over 100,000 difference, but that's fine. That's okay. That can fluctuate. June, 1,155,000. Okay. What was June of the year before? 1,259,000. It's a dip, but it ain't crazy. July, 1,131,000. July of the previous year, 1,159,000. Those are not crazy dips in player numbers. But here's the really crazy thing. If you want to get freaky, I don't actually have these pulled up. If you were to go back even further, right, when you look at the stats that we had all the way back in, I think I have these on GG. Actually, hold on. Do I have these? If we look at the stats on, yeah, I do have them here. So I'll have to change screens one more time for you guys. But these are the stats on Fortnite.gg for Chapter 4, okay? So let's look at what they were for Chapter 4. Where am I at? Where's Discord? And we're going to change screen. We're going to go to this one. Okay. So when you look at what the averages were, which these are, where are they? I think these are them here. These are the daily average. Yeah, these are the daily averages here. You can see that we're actually, where is it? This is September. Actually, damn. I'm sorry. This is later in the year, but this is September, October. So, for example, October, when Fortnite normally reaches a new peak, right? Weather's getting cold, people are getting inside. Fortnitemares. Fortnite back in October of 2023 only had 1,093,000 players. Right now, we are averaging more players than we did in October, a hot month for Fortnite. We're averaging more players in October of 2023, Chapter 4 Fortnite, which was also, it was a banging time. It was a banging time to be playing the game. Now, of course, the numbers after that go up because you have OG. But then when you go into Chapter 5, they go back down a little bit. But here's my point.
You also had the metaverse as well. Metaverse was actually popping off at that point.
Right. So you had OG, you had the metaverse. Like, there was a lot of hype around the game, Lego, all that. So here's the thing that people need to understand. If you're paying attention to the average of all the numbers, what seems to be Fortnite's healthy baseline, what their base player base typically is a healthy player count, daily concurrent on average, it's probably anywhere between 1.1 to 1.5 million players. If you're somewhere within that pocket, you're healthy. I don't have the stats, but if I remember correctly, if you can look this up for yourself on Fortnite.gg, I believe April and May of 2023. So you're talking like the middle of Chapter 4, where we're going into Wilds. I think the average concurrent players for those months was like between 800,000 to 900,000. So we're doing better now than we were 2 chapters ago. However, I will admit this. If you go and look at the stats on Fortnite GG, it does look like we're currently on a bit of a downhill trend at the moment. It does look like player counts are projected to go down. But remember, that's nothing to freak out about, because if you're looking at Fortnite's history, roughly over the last 3 years, on the low end, we've been in the 800,000s, really pushing 900,000. And on the healthier, higher end, you're looking between 1.3 to maybe 1.5 million. Like, even like August of last year was a bit of an outlier too. It was 1.6 million, right? But this is my point. This is one of the points I have for bringing this up. And this is where I have to concede and apologize and agree with Zero, because he's right. The game is going through the normal cycle that it always has gone through for the last at least 3 years. As long as we've had player data, these are the numbers. This is what the game does. Fortnite's doing just fine player count-wise. However,
what's going on?
That does not mean that the game is necessarily doing great just because the player counts are staying consistent. There's a point that Dag when we brought up, and this is where I kind of want to turn the conversation to you guys. Hold on. Actually, before I do that, I want to let me give you guys the floor to because I yapped for a little while. How are we feeling about the breakdown of those stats? Is that making sense? Is that pretty accurate?
I just got back. Can you repeat what you said just for me, please? Quickly?
Why does Loot ask to be a part of these things if he's never going to participate?
I'm joking.
I mean, It's something I've been saying. I've also been saying that the number. You always see a tweet and it be like numbers between like a week or a month, and it's like, why are we doing this yet again with very little statistics and data? And it just ain't gonna. Nothing of importance is gonna come out. There's no good conversation from that.
Mm-hmm.
As you said, it's the same cycle every year, and we will go into back end of this year, and player numbers will, I suspect, rise over the next 4 to 5 months.
Zero, did you want to add in on any of that?
Um,
I was
I'm
right.
thinking back to what kind of like sparked this this newer conversation, and it was that one tweet from I can't remember who it was. I don't want to say a name because I don't want to like call him
Is it
out
the
or
guy that was
anything
in
to him
Clin's video
personally.
today? Mr. Top 5?
Yes, that's
But
who
he
it
talked
was.
about how the player count, what he fixated
Yes, when he
on the player count of one
that
mode.
that's that
Oh yeah,
screenshot. It was funny because I'm serious, as soon as I saw that tweet, I loaded up Fortnite and the build numbers were very similar to what he had shown. Like it may have
Mhm.
been like 5 or 6,000 off. But then I looked at zero build, and this is why I actually started playing zero build because of this. Like I've been playing a ton of zero build. I looked over at zero build and it had like 120, 130,000 players.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like within the context, like he sparked up a lot of like controversy, he kind of sparked this conversation, but like it's like you can't like even when you look through, like if you just look at even just the battle royale numbers right now, like oh, builds and zero build, they only have 200,000 players combined. This game is dead.
Mhm.
But then you look through, you look a little deeper, you go into the metaverse modes that supposedly nobody likes, and Steal the Brain Rot has 55,000 players.
Mhm.
And, even like Blitz Royale has 100,000 players right now. Or, in between Reload and Zero Build Reload and Ranked, it has 10,000 players. So there's just such you have to understand the context when people do stuff like that because people get mad, they get scared, and then they stop playing the game or it sparks conversations like these. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
understanding the context of the game and where it's at and what people are actually doing is really, really important. And then like slowly these other metaverse modes will have like sprinkled in there like 5, 10,000 players. So when you actually like attribute it, to that other stuff, it makes a little bit more sense.
Mhm. Here's the thing, and I want to be a Debbie Downer, but here's the thing that is very telling though. And this is where the problem arises. We might be averaging close to around the same amount of players that we've had over the last couple of years. But there's a big difference. And that difference is that there's more modes now. Now you've got let's just look at BR alone. You got main chapter 6. That's split between builds and zero builds. And hey, but even between those two modes, you've got competitive for each. Okay, so there's that. Then you've got OG. Then and that's split between builds and zero builds. Then you've got reload, builds and zero builds, competitive. Then you've got blitz, which thank God blitz is just zero builds. But it kind of goes back to a point that I've been saying for a while. Fortnite is starting to spread its player base then. And the issue is if the player count isn't going to increase, if we're not going to get new players into the game, we have to put a pause on how many new modes we're bringing in. Doesn't mean you can't make new modes, but it kind of goes to the point that like you can't make everything permanent because when you do, you're siphoning from your baseline player base. And the thing is, this is something that like as a streamer, you learn like live streaming, right? When you're a live streamer, you'll have days where it's like, okay, on average, my baseline viewership, let's say it's about 55 to 60 people, okay? On a better day, maybe I'm averaging about 75 to 90. But on a poppin' day, let's say there's a live event, let's say there's some big controversy, or let's say we're having a stream like we have today, we can go up to 150, 200, 500, even up to potentially 1,000 viewers in a stream. Now, when my stream numbers go back down to the 75 or 80, you know what? The logical thing is going to be like, oh, fuck, I fell off. God, I suck at stream. No, that's not it. That's your baseline. But the thing is, with every one of those big streams that you have, you're hoping that baseline grows. That's how you grow as a streamer, as a content creator. When you're looking at video games, it's no different. people always like one thing that everybody loves to once again hyperfixate on outside of just the oh my god, the player count's only 90K for this one mode. Outside of just like hyperfixating on that, they also love to hyperfixate on man, Fortnite's just going down, bro. Like we went from having like 14 million people at one point in time, or 11. We had 11 million concurrent at one time, and now we're barely at a million, bro. Roblox is just killing us right now, dog. That was a live event, or that was a new chapter, or that was a special 1 month long season. That was a marketing strategy to bring a bunch of people into the game that worked. And now that the hype from that has died down, everything has to resettle back to its base values, which goes back to what you were saying earlier. The 1.1 million to 1.5 million, that's roughly in that pocket is Fortnite's baseline. That's a healthy baseline for concurrent players, which, by the way, concurrent players doesn't mean like that's the only amount of players that they've had per day, all day. No, that's a resting number. I mean, there's people that are getting off the game, getting on the game. Like I think Nick A30 pointed out, is probably around 10 million people, like individual people logging onto the game per day, which is crazy. You know, like the game is nowhere. It's in no jeopardy of actually dying from player count numbers. But I think where the problem is, and this is what Dag brought up to us on stream yesterday, and what I wanted to get your guys' perspective on. The issue is when it comes to growth. Fortnite does need new players. They do need to bring in new people. And right now, even with the current baseline of players that we have, it is on that lower side, and we're trending downward. Now, does that mean the game's going to die? No. The game's not going to die.
Oh, sorry.
But we do need to think about like, okay, well, do we really need all these BR-based modes inside of Fortnite? Like that's kind of what I want to ask you guys. Like, do you see an issue with how many modes are in Fortnite? Not necessarily the metaverse, but just like looking at the BR experiences, Fortnite's core, what it's known for. Do you see that as a potential problem for where the game is at right now?
No.
Elaborate.
Yes.
You're saying to not count the metaverse in this conversation, but you have to count the metaverse in this. If you look at Fortnite as a bunch of user-generated content, the one user everyone forgets about in that mathematical equation is Epic Games themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So in this dystopian future that some might think of it, when Fortnite becomes the metaverse that it wants to be, Fortnite or Epic Games themselves will just be another creator amongst many. And hopefully one day, because they should foresee this if they want this to work, a map creator is getting more views or getting more players than Epic Game modes. So if Epic are just turning out more content or more maps, I don't feel like that's an issue long term.
It is an issue if you can't get new people on. Because here's the problem. As the data is showing, we're staying roughly around the same player count for the last 3 years. We want the player count to expand. And once again, this kind of ties into what we were saying before. I think that Epic is trying to do stuff to get there. Once again, mobile, the then client, right? Like it's not like all doom and gloom, but that's something that like when you go to like when I went to Unreal Fest, all the map devs, the map creators, the brands that were there, that was something that was on their mind. This conversation, like, how are we getting new people onto the platform? How are we going to entice people to play on creative experiences? And a lot of the map. Say it again.
How are you seeing that?
Seeing what?
We're not seeing any explosive numbers because you would see that. But obviously, it's only peak players, and obviously the peak is going down. But it doesn't mean there's not new players come. I guess you could argue there's more players leaving, but it doesn't mean there isn't new players joining. It's just not at an exceeding weight. It's not.
So you're missing what I'm. So let me say this. Let me explain it better. When I'm saying that we're not getting new players in, what I don't literally mean like there are physically no new people at all entering the Fortnite space or entering Fortnite to play the game, right? That's just not true. But what I'm talking about is on an aggregate, on a grander scale in terms of growing the baseline player base. Let's go back to the streaming analogy, right? Do I want to stay at 20 viewers a stream forever? Do I want to stay at 50 viewers a stream forever?
Okay,
Right.
I see what you're saying.
You need to do things to incentivize growth. If you're not doing things to incentivize growth, which I don't think Epic, if I'm being honest, outside of the live events and like let me say this. It's not that they haven't done things to try to grow, but the things that they've done have not been the most successful because the average baseline of the players is staying the same. If they want UGC, if they want creative Fortnite to do well, they have to increase it. You cannot keep the same baseline of players, the same number of players, the same pool of players, right? Let's say it's that high in that 1.6 million. You can't keep that same 1.6 million and keep adding modes and have all those modes exist simultaneously and expect all the modes to do well. If you know that you have a set number of people, but you want to infinitely add modes, well, you've got to keep adding more players in order for those modes to be viable experiences. And that's part of the struggle that a lot of people in the creative Fortnite space have, because like let me say this, if main battle royale isn't doing well, if Fortnite is not like as the core game, if the core game is not exciting, and that extends to Reload, Blitz, OG, right? If those game modes are not exciting, people aren't going to log on to Fortnite as it is right now just to play the other the creative based modes. Generally speaking, that's not what people are doing. People are playing those modes in conjunction with the main BR. Those when main B, like for example, Dag told me about this. When OG was doing well, when OG came into Fortnite, season OG, that's when his map took off. You need that initial boost from the core game in order for your content, your UGC to do well.
Oh yeah, I get that, but there also must be a player base that is only just playing user generated content.
I'm sure that maybe that's the thing. Like
over the numbers are almost 50-50 between Epic Game modes and user generated content.
Isn't it 39 to like 60 some odd or 61%?
Some days it's gonna be like almost 50%.
Really?
Yeah.
But
I did a video on it quite recently, actually.
But
it can be like 50% and have a swing either way, 10%.
But I think that what that's showing, and maybe I'm interpreting the data wrong, but I think what that's showing is people are bouncing back and forth between the two. Like for example, a lot of people warm up in a creative mode and then they'll go. But see what I'm saying though? Like I don't know if that really negates my point. I don't even know if we're really disagreeing. I think we're just looking at it from two different angles again.
Oh yeah, no, I get that.
So it's just like I don't know. It's kind of it's a symbiotic relationship. Like BR needs creative needs BR. Like both things need to do well. But the point is like the concern that I have, the only concern that I have when it comes to player count numbers is the lack of growth. There needs to be that growth in there. But once again, I think that we're going to head that direction when we get the Then client, as well as if they start marketing those other like the metaverse modes separately and allow, once again, giving people that experience to be able to download them individually. prozero or /LOOTSTATION, you guys have been quiet. Would you like to weigh in on this?
Repeat everything.
All right, prozero.
I think what you were saying about battle royale, blitz, reload, whatever, all have to be doing well. I think that might be why they're introducing so many modes. It's to, you know what I mean? So like how much attention they've been getting blitz recently, how they've been giving to blitz recently. Like they could just view all of these like main modes. So let's just say like battle royale, blitz, reload are all vessels to get people into the game and get them wanting to play the game. You know what I mean? But they're just slightly enough different to make them people possibly interested in the UGC modes. Does that make any sense? Because how I see it is if I was in Epic Games HQ, as soon as the Lego mode, like I saw that their brand new Lego mode had like 1 million players the first day, like I'd be like, holy shit. Sorry if I can't cuss on your stream.
You can, bro, I cuss all the time. It's fine. Go ahead.
Cool. But like I'd be like that would have been like a flip of a switch for me. That would have been like, wait, we can get people in these games. Because me personally, I did not expect Lego to blow up that much. So how I see it, because of what you said, I see it as like they could see all of these different modes, like all of the 3 core modes as like ways to get people excited when the other ones are falling behind. So like if it's like, oh, Battle Royale isn't doing very well, but here's what's going on in Blitz. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but here's the issue, and this is a point that I don't think a lot of people want to admit. The game, like those new modes, are not bringing more people to the game. If they were, then the numbers would be higher than last year, but they're just not. Right? Once again, this is a little bit more than the game is dying. It's not the game is dying, but you're taking your core player base that you already have and you're splitting it further. We don't have more people on Fortnite this month or last month than we did the equivalent month of last year. We had objectively less modes in the game last year. We are splitting not even the same player base, but a slightly smaller player base even further up this year than we were last year. I understand that like people love Blitz and Reload and OG, but I'm coming to the realization that I think that all 3 of those modes, even my beloved OG, or not OG, my beloved Reload, I honestly think that they would probably serve better as LTMs that were cycled through, because we're not gaining players by making them permanent. And that's where the tough part of the conversation is. I don't really know if that's the solution, or maybe we just you keep going with what you have and then try to. And that's probably the latter of the two is probably the better option, to keep what you have and then try to get more people on. But
So what you're saying is theoretically, with all of these new modes, what should have happened is we should see the baseline Fortnite players like increasing in general. Is that what you're saying?
If those modes, if the purpose of those modes is to bring more people to Fortnite, the baseline player base should be going up, but it's not. So what that tells you is that these modes are not bringing more people to Fortnite. They're just more things for the hardcore Fortnite player base to enjoy. And listen, those things are probably keeping. Actually, not even probably. I know for a fact that those things keep me on the game longer. Like I have to think, if it was just BR and I didn't have Reload to play, I would not play BR. I would not be on Fortnite as much. Yeah. There's just no way.
I agree.
So I guess in that way, when I look at it from that perspective, it is necessary. But here's the thing. It's like you can't have. It's like that old saying, you can have everything you want in life, you just can't have it at the same time. Like, we can't have all the modes and also expect the lobbies to not be filled with bots at the same time. Because it's like, if you want to keep all this stuff, that's fine, but you're gonna have to accept the fact that a lot of these modes are gonna be filled with bots, because you're just stretching the already like small but shrinking player base. Like, it's just unfortunately, it's just the math. It doesn't work out. Like, as Fortnite is right now, you're stretching everybody. Then I think Loot brought up earlier, like, there's a new mode that's being worked on right now. God help us, we really don't need more new modes. Like, unless you want more bot lobbies, I'm just saying, like, I think we got to slow down.
I think Fortnite needs to be really careful, and I hate saying things like this because it makes it sound like I'm some like expert, like, you know, gaming platform consultant or something. Like, I'm just a guy who makes YouTube videos. But like, I think they need to be careful, because when they keep making these modes like rocket racing, or like the extra modes that we have for festival, and then like, or even just like Lego and what they did with ballistic, like for a few weeks or at least like months, like these modes had, like, specifically with like Blitz and Lego, sometimes they go like a few months or like at least like a month or two without any updates. And rocket racing was completely abandoned within a few weeks, I believe. So
No,
you don't want to get like, you
They
don't
had-
want to get this. What was it? Go ahead.
Sorry, my bad, bro. I didn't mean to cut you off. It wasn't abandoned in a few weeks. It was, I think, after like 3 months, 2 or 3 months.
There's
Oh,
5 seasons
no.
on it.
No, it was about 8 months, I think.
That's right, because it was during
Okay.
Wrecked, the end of Wrecked or something. But anyway,
Okay.
Yeah,
gotcha.
like there
But
was
still,
lots
but
of updates.
the point still stands. Everybody, at least probably in this community, knows that Fortnite abandoned rocket racing, like,
Yeah.
pretty much. Like, even if it's gonna
Yeah.
come back later, like for right now, they abandoned it. So you don't want to get in this perspective that like, oh, let's all get excited for this new mode that Epic Games just released in Fortnite, but then in the back of everyone's mind is going to be, how long is this actually going to be supported for?
right.
You know what I mean? Is this actually going to be something that I can get excited about and come back to play with new content? that's really dangerous in my opinion.
I think the
Because then it just
difference
makes
with
people hesitant.
that mode compared to the others is Rocket Racing was the only mode that didn't really have its own dedicated team, I believe. I think it was still part of the BR team working on Rocket Racing. But like Lego has its own team. Festival is Harmonix. So like those things are completely independent of main Fortnite. Like they've already have
Yeah.
teams that are well established and already crafting and creating
No, I
things.
thought
Yeah, that's fine, but like still, the like general people who play the game aren't gonna care. They're just gonna see, oh, this game like
Right.
doesn't get updates
You're talking
anymore
about
and
the
only has
optics of it.
1,000 exactly.
What were you gonna say, Jay?
Oh no, I thought Rocket Racing was held by not Harmonix, Psionics. No,
Did they have their own team and then they just absorbed that team into main
I think
BR?
they did have their own team.
I think it was an exterior team from Rocket League, Psionics,
Oh.
that was doing it. That's what I thought.
You know what? You might
Maybe
be.
I'm wrong. Maybe I'm
No.
wrong.
Because
think you're right.
Psionics the people who owned Rocket League before Epic bought it? Because that would make sense then.
Well, no, Epic owns Psionics now.
I know, but like
Before
did they
Epic
buy
bought them.
Rocket League? Okay, so then that would make sense if Psionics was working on
Yeah, they bought the studio.
the Psionics team, the studio, yeah, exactly, was working on it when the Rocket Racing came out because those are the people that made Rocket League. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
That's
that
why
makes
they
sense.
bought. That's why they bought like Rocket League.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the ideas to have that Rocket League racing mode.
And then now there's all this talk about Rocket League being absorbed into Fortnite, you know? Also, oh, sorry, go ahead. Go ahead.
Can I talk about that for just 1 second?
Please
I have
do.
something
Yes.
that I really wanted to say, especially on this stream.
Mhm.
The metaverse, I'm one of the people that is kind of in the middle with it. Some days I love it, some days I hate it.
Mhm.
But a few days ago, I went and scrolled down into the area that I don't normally go to because normally all the stuff that you frequently play is like right there. So I don't normally go into like the abyss of games and little like rectangles. But you know that they have like I forgot, and this is something that is so sad, is that I forgot until just a few days ago that Epic Games owns Fall Guys.
Yeah.
And I've in the last couple of days, in the last like let's just say the last couple weeks, months, have any of you guys went to the section that is supposed to be Fall Guys dedicated modes?
I
Have any of
literally
you guys done that?
I
literally
did
went
yesterday.
there last night. I had this exact.
week
I know
ago.
exactly where you're going.
I
I had
was-
this exact. I was
bro,
about. I was
I
actually
was-
about to bring this up. I'm so happy you brought it up because
Man,
I was literally about to bring this up.
I was going to make a video on this and it was gonna be one of my rants. But it is so sad what they have done to Rocket League and Fall Guys. The missed opportunities there, it's
Yeah.
atrocious because
is
Rocket
sad.
League as a game is completely dead. It is dead. Like they might get like collabs, like cosmetics every now and then, like with One Punch Man they did, but it is dead along with Fall Guys. I don't
Yeah.
understand how Epic Games can sit on a game, especially like Fall Guys, that arguably took over the world almost as much as Fortnite did in 2020. Like I don't know a single person who wasn't playing Fall Guys when that came out in 2020. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And with that, like you were talking about Rocket League porting into the game. That is this they might just be waiting on Thin Client or something like that. But I think that is a huge missed opportunity. I feel like that is one of the like if we're talking about bringing new players in,
Mhm.
I feel like that would be something that would do it because there's still a relatively big audience for Rocket League, and there's still a lot of people who like I would play Fall Guys if it wasn't like dead. You know what
Mhm.
I mean? So going through that, and even just like the Walking Dead section, they promoted that as soon as it came out. And I was like, dang, that's pretty cool. Can't wait to see like what maps come out with that. But
Mhm.
it's just it's like nothing. You know what I mean? It's very sad. It's so sad. I hate it so much. I cannot believe that they would sit on games like that and not do anything with them.
What I hate as well is when you click on the game collections, it's just slop. Like it's
Yeah.
not even like
Uh-huh.
maps or games themed around like Fall Guys or whatever. It's just random
Yeah.
death runs or red versus blues.
Mm.
And the fact
Or-
that like, when they turned like every Fortnite skin into a Fall Guy too, like they should be doing so much more with it. They should be.
and then
I love Fall Guys. I play it often.
and then even like with what you were saying, Clark, like how they keep adding all of these battle royale modes.
Mhm.
If they just took that and took their energy instead of creating like all these modes that are like similar to what Fortnite is, like Fortnite's core, whatever,
Yeah.
and put it into making Epic sanctioned Fall Guys or Walking Dead or Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles or Rocket League maps, like I think that makes a lot more sense. I think that would be something that would be more likely to bring new players in if that's what their goal is.
Someone from my chat had a fantastic idea yesterday. I thought this was brilliant. And I want your guys' take on this too. But someone said take the mechanics from like reload or blitz and put those in main BR. Like have a week of battle royale where everybody starts off with a random medallion, a weapon, and some heals. Or why don't you bring back the reboot mechanic in main BR for like you get 3 reboots up to a certain amount of time. You can come back over and over again. I think that would be more effective than maybe having all of these modes in the game all the time. Like you still get some of that experience, but you also get the experience of some of that gameplay loop from the other modes, but you get the depth of battle royale. And you get like it would I don't know, I feel like it would be a fun experiment. Like it would speed up the pace of fights for sure, right? Like if I know that I've got 2 or 3 reboots in solos, I'm pushing more fights, right? It doesn't matter as much, but maybe that time period only lasts for 5 minutes. There's
I don't know.
there's ways that they could do it to where they could play around and balance it out, but I think that would be a fun thing to experiment with.
The first
I don't
thing that
know
I
if they
think
should.
of. Oh, go ahead, Luke. Go ahead.
Oh, okay, thank you. I was going to say I don't think they should. I feel like it might be too late for that now. I feel like if they take out reload and blitz and then combine it into main battery, I feel like that'd just be a bit weird, to be honest. I like the idea. Maybe it's another new mode. I don't know.
Once again, maybe we don't like I said, reload and blitz keep me on the game longer for sure. So taking them out, like sometimes it's not always about growing the player base. Sometimes it's about like keeping your current player base on longer. Like the longer that you can average, 1.1 million is just as good sometimes as being able to, get a 1.5 1.5 million or whatever players on more regularly. I don't know. There's something to be said about people that really get attached to your gameplay loop and they want to, because generally speaking, the longer someone is on your product, the more money they're willing to spend on it. So if you can keep people on your game longer, theoretically you'll make more money. Which is there's another angle I want to hit with that, but prozero, I think you said something else that you wanted to say though. I kind of steamrolled you.
Yeah. No, you're good. That's I really like that idea, but I have 2 sides to this. So first off, when I first started playing Fortnite, one of the thing because the Fortnite was my first like exposure to a live service game. I was in like middle school when I started playing Fortnite.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing that kept me playing it, because I didn't like it at first, was the fact that it got weekly updates with new stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That is what kept me coming back. Like, it didn't have anything to do with my friends playing it. It was just like that was just interesting to me because I'd never seen a game like that before.
Right.
So if they were to do something like that, where it was like every week, or like even they're doing like stuff in Blitz and OG where there's weekend events. If they just did like the concepts of reload of Blitz inside of Battle Royale, I think that would be good. But just going based on my personal experience, when I was talking about the Zapatron and the low gravity update for OG, a lot of people in my comments were surprisingly like very, very upset that they did that for the weekend. So, and considering that reload and blitz are pretty different from the main battle royale mode, I don't know, especially because like in the back in chapter 1, I feel like people would have liked that. But like now, I don't know if that would really work, especially with how different it would have to be. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But I do like the idea. I think I personally think that would be cool. But I know a lot of people really wouldn't. So I don't know if Fortnite's willing to take that risk.
I think here's the thing, because like even though like we can talk about like all the bad stuff that they've done or what they're not doing, like there is a lot of good that's been happening too, which I don't think enough people want to acknowledge. Like the consistent live events, there's been more effort put into all the live events. The storyline is doing fantastic again, and it's being carried over between every metaverse mode, which is something I remember talking about even last year, being like, if Mustard was doing this, he would have had it. If Donald Mustard was still in charge, he would have figured out a way to make every mode tie into the story. But they're doing that now, right? I think one of the biggest and the coolest things that they've done this year, outside of the Fortnite Pro-Am, was giving Ninja his Blitz Week. I think more stuff like that is like we need that. Casual experiences for the community to all get excited about. Like people are like when like going back to the original point that we brought up when we first started this call, right? When we're talking about like, oh, Fortnite's dead, right? When people want to have that conversation, like look at all the stuff, like the amount of effort that Epic really has been putting into the culture of the game this year. Like they have been doing a lot more with creators and just with overall like things that they know the community enjoys. They are putting a lot more effort into that. I know that there are some areas where that's lacking though, like for example in the cosmetic arena, and I wish iTalk was here to talk about this, but like when they like we don't have what is it, the survey skins, the fan made skins. We haven't had one of those pop into Fortnite for a long time, like that's something I know that a lot of people want to come back. But I do think like we're kind of like chapter 6 to me feels like this consistent ramp up of getting back to like kind of how Fortnite used to be in a lot of different areas, and it's not just the gameplay,
Yeah.
One other thing I did want to touch on, because this is the side of it that I think I'm a bit more pessimistic on. And this is the one that where I think a lot of my attention originally was focused. Which is Fortnite content. So let's take a step outside of the game for a moment. Let's look at the broader internet and Fortnite content. Because even though this is the thing that is interesting to me today. So I'm sitting here, I'm thinking like, okay, I'm looking at the stats. All right, prozero's right. Player numbers are pretty consistent. This is, a normal pattern. However, I started digging into other people's YouTube channels and noticed that views are down considerably across pretty much all niches except maybe storyline, but views are down for all niches. Commentary, the big gameplay, like content creators like Cypher. You look at Cypher's views from 12 months ago to now, a lot of his stuff was anywhere between 2.6 to 5 million views. Now he's averaging about, I believe, 1.1, 1.2 million views per video, which, oh my God, he's doing so bad. That's still amazing, right? But the thing is, when you're looking at like a niche, Fortnite is a niche, and it has sub-niches underneath it. When you look at a niche, you always want to look at the top people in the category for the niche that you're in, because that shows you the maximum potential for what's achievable within that niche, right? We all agree. I don't think there's any argument there that Cypher, Typical Gamer, Ali, those guys, they're at the top of the niche. What I've noticed is that when you look at their channels from the last 12 months, even going back as far as 24 months, so going back to chapter 4, views are down considerably. So roughly the same amount of people are playing Fortnite, but the people that are playing Fortnite don't want to watch the content. And so I wanted to ask you guys one, and Jay, I want to start with you because this is kind of, I feel like, your realm of expertise because you've been doing a lot of studying into this recently. I want to ask you guys why you think that is, starting with Jay, and also if there's anything that I potentially missed here with my analysis of this.
You want me to go?
Yeah.
I think Fortnite content is going to struggle over the coming year, but that's due to external factors. I don't know if you've seen, but YouTube has taken over Netflix in terms of TV viewers, in terms of watch time. Which is, you might laugh, but that is pretty big. That people are watching more YouTube on the telly, by the way, not on their phones, not on their thing, on the telly. And if their views on the telly is increasing, I just don't think Fortnite content at the moment, how it currently is, suits that. I think most content creators have started to notice it, and videos are increasing. They now seem to be trying to approach videos that are 25 to an hour long. I've just checked Cypher's channel, and his best video was 48 minutes long, and it had 1 million views, and that was 2 weeks ago. So they're definitely noticing it, but Fortnite content just doesn't really suit. If it's like Battle Royale, Blitz, Reload, you're not going to stretch a video over 20 minutes without really struggling. So you've got to either do like tier lists or top 100 things that happen in Fortnite. Actually, what was the
That's why I did my Fortnite movie. Part of why I did that.
Oh yeah, it was, can ChatGPT help you win a Fortnite tournament? So, and that's him playing a tournament. Yeah, and videos actually do really well because it's like Unreal, sorry, not Unreal to rank. What is it called? Freaking Bronze to rank. They do really well because you can stretch out the video, you can make a storyline, and they seem to pop off. And they seem to be getting the views, and I think they're getting more TV views. I think because they go YouTube are going, oh, here's an hour video, just watch it. Here's the watch time, and they're just not going to do that with videos that are 12 to 14 to 15 minutes.
So Jay,
my Fortnite movie didn't do that well, so I think you're wrong.
Genius analysis, Loot. Jay, what do you think is the appropriate length right now? Like for not necessarily Fortnite, but just for content in general. Like what's performing well? What average length?
What performing well for Fortnite, or just in general? Sorry.
Well, just in general, because you're talking about. I'm correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe I'm not paying attention enough. But some of your perspective is coming from looking at videos outside of the Fortnite space, like seeing things that are doing well outside of Fortnite, because you're saying more people are watching on television, and so because people are watching YouTube on the television more, people are wanting longer form content. So what I'm asking is, what do you think is like a good average? We can narrow it down to Fortnite because we're talking about Fortnite content. What do you think is a good average length for Fortnite content then for it to perform better?
For it to perform better, well, you got to be looking at the 25 to 40-minute mark. But unfortunately, you just can't stretch a video out like that without jumping through some hoops.
Well, I tell you what, I'm gonna upload this VOD and we're gonna see how well it does. Damn it!
It's just not consistent content. But I can talk about other videos like Minecraft. Minecraft is excellent to stretch out videos now. Hours, 2-3 hours long, they just eat views.
What are the Roblox guys doing? Because a lot of there's talk of the Fortnite content creators switching over to Roblox. Right.
Roblox videos are over 20-25 minutes long.
It's like 20 to 40.
What's happened to my internet?
Well, because a lot of times it'll be kind of the similar. It's all about, like, with Roblox right now, especially with Steal a Brain Rot, Grow a Garden. The meta is progression. You know what I mean? So it'll be like,
I'm going to Roblox. I'm going to Roblox now.
God damn it.
So like it'll be like starting from like I don't know if you guys are familiar with Grow a Garden, but like starting from 1 strawberry seed to like $10 trillion or something like that, and what will happen in the video is over and over again they will like something bad will happen that sets them back. You know what I mean? So it's a progression.
Why am I not doing Roblox videos? What, bro? This is wow. I need to go to Roblox.
Loot is literally made for you. You need to jump on that trend, bro. What are you doing? Honestly, actually, Loot, I genuinely think you should try one.
But the thing is that those videos, have you guys ever watched like a Roblox short or a Roblox video?
No.
It's like, dude, it's
back in 2016, yeah.
So like I've done it because I'm like, why does this video have like 11 million views in like 24 hours? Whoa. It's so in your face and it is overstimulating the entire time. And what's weird is I thought that we were moving away from that, but I guess Roblox is kind of that's kind of the audience. So it's like, dude, like you watch a Roblox short on Grow a Garden, it's like the anime speed lines, it's like the ding sound every 5 seconds. There's a swoosh, there's like a cloud gas effect, there's zooming in and out on their character's face, they're making different expressions. Like it's rough. It's like, but I see why the target audience likes it, but it's a different animal. So,
dude, why am I not?
That's our next Trolley and Brisket video when family friendly Fortnite content creators switch to Roblox.
Why am I not grinding Roblox?
Yeah, bro,
there's no point grinding Fortnite XP anymore. I should be grinding
Roblox. Still the brain rot.
Yeah, somebody said in your chat too. It depends on who you're watching because Fortnite can be like that too. Exactly. It just depends on who you're trying to target. And then going back to the like TV stuff too, it's an entirely different audience that you're trying to target. So
the TV audience is probably I was gonna say the TV audience is probably the older audience, which that might be right. That might be true. I don't know. Then again, you do have the parents that are like, "Here, Johnny, watch this," and then they turn on the TV and it's like a playlist of Cypher PK videos for like 15 hours.
Well, and the thing too is that when people turn on a TV, like a lot of the times, like how many people actually like turn off their TVs unless they're like leaving the house, like, and they're not always just sitting there watching it. So whatever comes up is whatever you're gonna watch. So and then being longer videos because TV people are watching them, it's gonna lead to more watch time, and that's why they're getting promoted more. You
Can
know what
I
I mean?
can I just say something?
Oh God.
Yeah.
Yes, Loot.
My brother watches YouTube on the TV all the time, and just when he just goes to school and it's on all day. And
Yes.
as we're talking about this, my brother came in my room about 4 hours ago and put on my TV, and he went to sleep 2 hours ago, and it's still on right now in the background. Just on
Prime
YouTube.
example of what he's talking
Because
about.
because if you think about it too, like if we're just going to talk about mechanically, like a TV is going to be more difficult to navigate, to get off a video, to find a video, to search something in, you know what I mean? Or
Mhm.
unless you're like
Yeah.
on a
Yeah,
console
it
or
is.
something like that. So when people put a video on for TV, they're expecting they're preparing to sit and watch it. Like they're not going to be
Right.
scrolling looking at something else. You know what I mean? Like they might be on their phone or something, but like it's going to play. You know what I'm saying? So
That's the thing too. Like they're not as ignorant, you know.
yeah, true.
Tricky is in chat. You guys know Tricky, the
Oh yeah.
Mr. OG guy.
Oh yeah.
Tricky is saying that 45% of his audience is on the watches from the TV. He's saying he's not sure if his audience is older or if it's because of the nostalgia of Chapter 1, but that's huge. I can't
Let me check mine. Why not? Let me
I
check
haven't
mine.
looked at my stat. I don't think I think in the last 8 months, like all of this year, I don't think the majority of my views have come from television, which is interesting. I think last year I was getting a lot.
Well, that's why you'd be struggling then in this. That's what I'm saying. If people don't move their videos to longer and more TV user friendly, I just think people are going to struggle.
I'm just trying to figure out how my
20%
content changed
are on
from this
TV.
year to last year to where it's not as TV friendly.
My XP map videos are not really TV friendly though. That you just search them up if you want some extra XP. You know, like
Yeah, Lou, your videos are more designed for mobile or for the computer. You know, they're shorter, they're very quick. It's like 3 minutes. You know, like it's not something that people are going to put up on in the background while they're playing a game or or while they're working on a project or something. You know what I mean? A lot of the TV views are gonna that's what's gonna be there. It's crazy now that I'm thinking about it. My my long form videos don't pop up or might not be popping up for TV right now, but I do know that I've had some people tell me that they've had like old live streams of mine from 2 years ago, like season OG pop up, and they'll have it on in the background while they're cooking or something. Like that, like it's so crazy. But what you guys are saying is the more I'm thinking about it, the more I'm realizing how true it is. It's like where the views are at least for Fortnite content, it's for it really is for the TV audience. And so if you basically, I guess if you're making Fortnite content, you got to really figure out how to tap into that. The other thing too, and this is the point I was going to bring up to you guys, something I was thinking about when looking at the stats, right? Like, how the player counts are kind of stagnant in terms of we're not getting a lot of growth, like not a lot of new players in. I do think that a good chunk of the current Fortnite player base are people that have been playing the game for a few years, whether they've they played for the first couple of chapters and stopped until chapter 5, or whether they've been playing for the last 8 years straight on and off, whatever, or straight through. I think a lot of the current Fortnite players are older players, at least from chapter 3 onward. And what that's making me think of is, okay, Fortnite's been out for 8 years now. If a lot of the player base is that same core player base, even if they're younger kids, or they were younger kids when they first started playing, a lot of these people are growing up. And so if these people are, like, once again, we have the same amount of people that are roughly that are playing Fortnite, but views are down across the board. Could it be the case that maybe the Fortnite player base is getting older and there's not enough content on the internet for them to engage with? Like, they don't feel like they're not going to take their time to go look at Fortnite content, because Fortnite stereotypically, unfortunately right now, is thought of as a kid's game. It's thought of as kiddie content.
I feel like there's no need to watch Fortnite content at all. Not really.
Outside of competitive,
streamers,
outside of
maybe,
competitive.
yeah. Like, I'm not gonna, as a Fortnite player, right? I'm not gonna want to watch. It's like, I don't care about searching up like how to get the newest weekly set of weekly challenges done. There's no point. They're too easy now, right? I'm not going to search up how to, I don't know, get better at the game because I'm already the best. You know, that's not my point. But you know, I'm not going to search up because Fortnite are not helping with like content. They're not like. You don't need to search up how to level up fast as much because you know XP is easier. You don't need to search up like I don't know, I got the best 4-corner challenge or all the exotics or whatever. Like it's not going to be as interesting to most people anymore.
Yeah.
And one thing too is like when I was younger and I used to watch a lot of Minecraft. Most of the time what I would watch is watching somebody do something that I can't do in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So like whether it's adding in some type of mod or like building something with Fortnite, even if you were just talking about like looking up like challenges and stuff, Fortnite like spoon feeds like how to do those to you now. Like they'll
Yeah.
mark it on the map for
They
you.
really do.
They'll tell you what to do. Like I remember, I don't know, I actually can't remember, but like Fortbytes, I don't believe they told you where Fortbytes were, did they?
No,
No.
you have to do like
So
a
like that was like
secret
there
thing.
are things in games where it's like I literally cannot figure this out unless I go and watch somebody do it.
little wood
And
in
that's
the
a
little
little
wood Fort Bites.
and that's a little different from like you know what we do, like I guess me, Clark, and Jay, because we don't have like we're not telling people how to do something, but like that just goes to show like there's definitely less of an audience because of that, because there's nobody like if somebody were to do like even just like the mammoth pistol challenge or like one weapon challenge, like anybody can load into Fortnite and do that because everybody has stuff available. Like the stuff available is available to everyone, if you get what I'm trying to say. Does that make any
This
sense?
is what this is what I've been trying to do as well, because like my Fortnite level, right? I'm like there's not many people at the same level as me because of the amount of time I play and know about XP in this game, right? What used to make it really good content for me was because of like the rewards you would get for being a high level and how difficult it was to actually level up. But now it's too easy. Like the season's been out for what, like 3 weeks, and I know I've been playing a lot, right? But I'm almost level 2000, and about the battle pass finishes at level what, 100, 200, whatever.
200.
Like
Yeah.
yeah, it's way too easy to level up now, and you don't. There's no point going past 200. Like people will, I guess some people are like going to watch me to like see like, oh, level 2000, that's crazy, right? But what's the point? There's no like extra benefit from it. There's no reward. Like it's just like an extra number. Like it doesn't mean anything anymore, which is unfortunate.
I feel like, and this might be a hot take, but I feel like in some ways, because and this is why I say the conversation is so nuanced, because like Fortnite as the game, the goddamn gameplay is good, and they're like Blitz is good and Reload is good and OG is trying, but like it's like the
They're
game,
doing good.
like the game is in a good spot right now gameplay wise, but the problem is I feel like culturally the Fortnite's dead. Like it's like it just like on a cultural level, like looking at it's like looking at the game from an outside lens. It's just like, and this is what I'm trying to figure out how to explain. But I just feel like Fortnite feels cheap in a lot of ways. It feels cheap. Like it's once again, it's not the gameplay, but it's more so just the overall experience of playing Fortnite. Like what Loot was saying, and prozero, like back in the day, like the challenges were hard. Like I remember looking at Littlewood's videos all the time, but like, where the hell is Fortnite number 48? Like, okay, like, oh, okay, all right, I got to drop here. That's fine, you know. And then filling out that loading screen over time.
That's
you
what
know,
made the game feel like not like really difficult, but like mysterious and like more rewarding. You know, like you would have to figure it out instead of like, oh, okay, I guess go to this market and do an emote.
Remember the secret golden XP coins? I know Loot does.
Yeah, I was just about to say that.
Yeah, like
Battle Stars.
Or the battle stars. Like I remember when I didn't even know that those were in the game, and I remember just hearing that sound. I'm like, what the hell is that? What is that? What's that? And I'm walking around trying to get closer to it. I'm like, oh, there's a giant coin here. What are you talking about, bro? There's literally a giant coin here. Come here.
I miss it so much.
And it's like, and the artist's like, oh, and like, you're freaking out because there's something in the game that you didn't know was in the game, but it's like that's gone. Even like, and listen, I know I shouldn't talk about cosmetics. I know it's a very, very controversial when I talk about cosmetics, but like, even
don't do that.
Even I know, right? Don't do it, Clark. Don't pull the pin on that grenade. But like, even cosmetics, iTalk has talked about this. They don't mean anything anymore. Cosmetics don't feel like they mean anything anymore. Look, I'm just gonna go out and say it, bro. Like, I think that Epic was well within their right to re-release Renegade Raider. They were. But I do feel like because they did that, I think that really hit the cosmetic community. I think that really hurt the overall culture of the game. Before that happened, how many Renegade Raider videos did you see? People, that was like the meme.
Yes.
Everybody would make. Nobody makes those videos anymore now because it doesn't mean shit. Like that. Like even like I understand that I might have a different perspective on how I feel cosmetics should be handled than the majority of the community. I understand that. I know that my take is not popular. It's fine. I'm willing to die on that hill, but I'm always willing to have a respectful conversation with people about it. Like we disagree, and that's okay. But here's the thing that I don't think enough people really want to give credence to. Part of what, even if you don't like what I said last year, I think part of it was true. I think at the very least, the fact that like Renegade Raider was a test, and Aerial Assault Trooper, those skins coming back and everybody having access to, even when they got the OG stuff, they don't mean shit anymore. Nobody cares. Nobody runs them anymore. Because you ruined it. You brought it back. It was a staple of Fortnite. It was a key part of Fortnite's culture. You had to be there during the very early days to originate it, and now they just brought it back for everybody. And once again, you can have the arguments of FOMO and exclusivity. I'm not here to do that today, but culturally for the game, it felt like something was taken away when that came back. And look, I was part of the problem. We all bought the cosmetics. Listen, here's the thing. If they do bring back all the old cosmetics, they say open season, I am not of the opinion that you should not buy them. I think that's where a lot of people misunderstand me. I do not think that if they bring back all the old stuff, I'm not saying shame on you, don't buy. Fuck it, buy it. I don't care at that point. It's open season. But my position was not even letting it get to that point. If they bring the stuff back, do whatever you want. At that point, it doesn't matter. But I do think that there is something to be said about preserving some of that culture. Like to act like certain skins and certain cosmetics don't mean something is I think that's just it's a very weird and unbalanced narrative. I think that there is value in some of Fortnite's old culture that's been gone. Even look, outside of the rarity or outside of the cosmetics themselves, like the fact that you don't have the rarities in your locker anymore, I think that's another thing. I think like we're talking about the challenges being so easy. Like, bro, like Loot made a fantastic video on how no one cares about battle passes, and a lot of the things we're talking about cover like we're echoing a lot of those talking points that he had in that video, right? But one of the things that a lot of people don't understand, a lot of people got upset at Loot for, it's like, oh, well, you want people to have to know life the game and live on it like you do. And it's like, that's not where we're coming from. That's not what you're saying. And because the thing is, right now, you don't have to do that. Bro, I can play the game 2 to 3 times a week, and by the end of the season, I'll have maxed out my battle pass. I'm already, I think, level 50 something, maybe 60 at this point, right? Bro, I haven't done challenges since chapter 3, and I've maxed out every battle pass. It's too easy. There's no grind anymore. It's like, bro, I finished my OG pass without even realizing. I'm like, oh shit, I have all the cosmetics. That's cool, I guess. It doesn't, like, the grind that you used to have, like, in my opinion, and maybe I'm just an maybe I'm just a boomer, but, like, in my opinion, that was, like, kind of the fun of the game back in the day. Like, that it was hard. That, like, fuck, if I really want all these cosmetics in the battle pass, like, I kind of got to work for them a little bit. You know, I've got to invest a lot of time into this. But I had fun, and all my IRL friends had fun. It's just, like, in the last couple of years, it's like the sentiment towards that has changed. Like the culture of Fortnite has shifted so much in the other direction. And to be fair, like Epic has bent the knee. It's like, okay, you know what? We'll concede. Nothing matters anymore. Exclusivity, we'll get rid of it. Battle passes will come back after every couple of years. We'll make it easy. We'll make it easy for you to level up through every battle pass. We'll make the challenges easier for you. You know, we're not going to make them too difficult. Every single one of those decisions, whether people want to admit it or not, it really feels like it's cheapened the game. Like culturally, the game, from my perspective, even though the gameplay is fun, the culture of the game in that aspect seems lacking. But let me get off my soapbox. You guys, I want to hear how you guys feel about that. Like your perspective, like the culture of the game right now. And don't everybody talk at once. Holy shit.
With like I think you made a really good point about like culture and connecting that to how difficult the game is. Because when people talk about old Fortnite, and it's something that I feel like brings a lot of people together just with in terms of content creation, kind of bridging them together,
Mhm.
is you will see people be like you'll see video, it'll be some type of caption and it'll be the search 7 chests at risky reels challenge, or
Mhm.
it'll be the Omega lights. It's like
Mhm.
things being hard is something that's going to connect people together. Whether people didn't get it or whether some people did get it and, "Oh my gosh, how did you do that?" I
Mhm.
think if like what Loot is saying, and I think me and Loot Station talked about this, in a stream, like, a few weeks ago with Clint, actually, that there definitely does need to be more difficult things to get, because then that makes people wonder, and then it adds to the mystery like you were talking about before, like, even with, and you could say this is FOMO, but, like, if I don't if I and even with battle passes, like, coming back now, like, after chapter 5, season 4 and beyond, it's like, "Oh, well, if I don't complete my battle pass, if I don't do these challenges, it doesn't matter because 'cause it'll come back at some point and I'll be able to buy it." You
Mhm.
know what I mean? So, like,
That's what it said in my
stuff like
video.
yeah, so stuff like that is, like, I don't know. I think that was I think that was a risky decision.
Let me
I
add some.
think that
Oh, go ahead, Lou. Go ahead.
I think that making the battle passes return, I think, because I said this in my video, I think that that just ruins support. Like, so like why am I going to spend so much time playing in this season for all these rewards or whatever? I mean it's easy now anyway, but why, what's the if it's just going to come back in a
Mhm.
few in like a year or whatever, right? But everything is like useless now. Like there's no, like, remember the banners you used to get for every 100 levels and crap, and
Mm.
you used to get like a reward, like the max thing in Fortnite is like hitting Unreal, right? Is it even still called Unreal, or is it like
It's
Emperor
it's
rank or
un
something?
it's unreal still, yeah.
Like, what's the point? You get nothing for that. You get nothing, and wins mean nothing either. Like, look, you get a crown, and if you win the next game, you get a crown win. Like, so what? What does that mean? There's no reason behind it. Like, you get like there's nothing. There's literally there's no mysteriousness about like grinding the game. Like, it's just all right. You just get level 100 battle pass, OG, whatever, right?
See, I
But
want.
like, imagine if you got like like, I don't know, after 10 wins, you get like some sort of like secret reward, right? And you have to like grind for the wins, or you can like use your crowns to like trade them in for like rewards or something.
Exactly.
That's
Like
another
a
thing too.
crown
Like,
shop.
it's like the
Imagine that.
secret. You said the word secret. That just triggered me for a minute. It's like the secret skin actually used to be secret. You know,
Uh-huh.
like
Mhm.
like it was
Yeah.
it was always a
And it
surprise.
and it used
You
to mean something too.
Yeah, like it would be a surprise, and you would have to there'd be a set of challenges that would come out in the middle of the season or towards the end of the season, and you would have to grind them out to get that skin, and it was typically something storyline related, right? So it's just like that's another thing that's gone, and then also like loot. I hope I didn't cut you off, but like I wanted to add on to your and prozero's point, like because the subject of wins keeps getting danced around, right? But I think that's why
Mhm.
there are so many people that are against bot. Like it's like it's all part of the same problem, right? You want to make everything as easy as possible and as easily accessible for everybody, but that ruins the integrity of the game. It just does. When you make wins super
Mhm.
easy, when you got lobbies full of bots all the damn time, when you're wandering around for 20 minutes not fighting anybody, and the next thing you know, you get the victory royale screen pop up because some bot ran into Storm. That sucks.
It shouldn't be like that at all.
Like
It
it's
really shouldn't.
and the thing is from a content creation standpoint, like you guys were talking about like things being hard and back in the pause and back in the day, like
Uh,
everybody
well,
having to how do I say this? People had to like look at other content creators because things were so damn difficult in the game, right?
yeah.
Mhm.
Even gameplay wise, it was like that. People don't care about that. Why would I get as excited about Cypher or Ninja dropping like a 30 bomb or a 20 bomb when like I could do that too in bot lobbies? It's
Exactly.
it's like or
Yeah.
I do want to watch them and then I watch them drop 30, but like 23 of the kills are bots. Like that's not like, dude. When you make that's I get it. I understand the people that say like I want bots. I like I want bot lobbies. Listen, Tommy, I get you want your participation trophy. That's fine. Okay? But with all the utmost respect, bot lobbies suck and they're bad culturally for the game. And it's not just, oh, you're just a content creator. Bro, it's not just about being a content creator. I wasn't a content creator for the first, 4 years that the game was out? And when bots first came in chapter 2, we're like, what's going on, bro? Like, we were all talking about how, man, I miss how intense the game felt back in chapter 1, season 7 and 8 with Siphon. I know I glaze Siphon, but I will to the ends of the earth. Like, we all miss like that, like in my mind, like going back to that was like the best, like arguably one of the best times to be playing Fortnite was like during that Siphon era. And I remember all the content creators loved it. Everybody was pushing fights. Things were aggressive. Like it was so exhilarating. Like there was always this constant tension. And even like you would get off with your friends after having a good day, and then you'd go watch the content creators play. It's like, God damn, bro, they just dropped triple my team's kill count in solo squads, and won. Like and it's all real players. Like, how do you do that? That culture is gone. It's not like that anymore.
Or like when Ninja and like that group of people that he was with, they would win like 20 matches in a row or something, or like they would just do like crazy stuff, and it was like impossible to do. And that's something too. I think that's why we're seeing because I do agree that like general Fortnite stuff is like, especially like the bigger creators specifically are seeing a dip. But what isn't seeing a dip is Fortnite competitive content.
Right.
At all.
Right.
Like at all. And the reason why is because all of these people like Peterbot and I don't really know any other specific names. He's really the only guy I know. Clicks, yeah. They would like they can do stuff that not everybody can do. You know what I mean? Like they are crazy good at the game. And then what you're talking about with making Fortnite too easy is that the problem is if they were to everyone is lazy. Everyone is so lazy because they think if Fortnite is harder, then they're going to have to spend their entire life playing this. You know, just like when anybody does anything cool, it used to be like, I don't want to like glaze, like I don't want to say this because everyone says this, but like that tweet that Sway put out that was like, if somebody was a, you know, master prestige in COD, you would send him a friend request instead of telling him to go outside.
Right.
But that's like true, and it comes down to everybody just being lazy. Like if you were to see somebody like, let's just say like some girl or some guy is able to shoot a bow and arrow like with their feet or something, like that's like really cool. But you know what all the comments would be? The comments would be like, jobs, bro, jobs, get a job. What are you doing with your life? Do this. Everybody thinks that they have to dedicate their life to something to be good at it, and that's just not the case because everyone's just lazy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's the thing, like people don't understand, like it doesn't, to get like slightly above average, it doesn't really take a whole lot. It just takes a little bit more effort than the average person. Right?
Exactly. That's what I mean. It's like even in content creation, all of us have probably gotten these comments where it's like, what are you doing, bro? Like you fell off. Go get a real job. Why are you
put the fries in the bag, little bro?
Like, yeah, like shit like that is so annoying. And it's like people think that they have to, and that's just, I don't understand like where that came from. And this is gonna go off topic of Fortnite a little bit, but it used to be like a grind set sort of mindset that everybody had, like, oh, I'm gonna grind on something, I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna accomplish it. I'm gonna put like 100% of my energy into this. And then it went into like, if you are doing anything outside of what like people think you're supposed to do, you know what I mean? Like if you don't, you know what I'm saying? Like societal norms, then you're a loser and you're not like, you know what I'm saying? It's just so frustrating. And I think that can be easily attributed to why people want everything to be handed to them, like in a video game.
It's definitely, see, now you're starting to sound like Clint. It's a cultural problem, guys. It's the world's going to shit. No, bro, you're fine. Cause you're right. Cause the thing is like this now, I'm glad we're talking about this. This is related to Fortnite, but you're kind of pulling back a little bit, right? Because this is a problem you see in all cultures on the internet. Bro, I'm a nerd. I love model trains and Transformers. And even in both of those communities, it's the same shit. Oh, you bought the new Lionel SD45? What are you, some kind of shill? Lionel sucks. It's like, bro, it's model trains. Calm the fuck down. You don't have to buy it. Eric can buy whatever he wants. Stop. He's been doing this for 15 years on YouTube. Relax, right? But it's just like, it's this thing where it's like, okay, you know what? Actually, this ties into something else I wanted to talk about regarding Epic, because like specifically the Fortnite community. The Fortnite community, when it comes, it's all tied, but it's like when it comes to criticism, right? Like when you look at the Fortnite community, and you see everybody giving these criticisms like you're talking about, right? Or let's go talk about like Epic directly. People are like, oh my God, Fortnite's dying. Everybody loves to say Fortnite's dying, right? Fortnite's dying, the game's dead, game shit. Epic needs to fix their game, yada yada, okay? Then Epic's like, our player base is kind of stagnating. We need some marketing strategies that will appeal to a wider audience outside of Fortnite to get more players on, and hopefully, we can grow that baseline player base, right? So what do? They reach out to Kai Cenat. They give him an icon skin, and they do a partner with Mafiathon. What does the community do? Oh, yeah. Oh, so it's just another cash grab. Oh, look at you trying to get more people onto the game. So you want to make fun of Epic for the game being unsuccessful and dying. But when they actually try to make a big marketing push, a big effort to get more people on the game, you're also going to try to talk shit? Pick a struggle. Which one do you want? You can't have them. You can't be mad at the fact that the game is dying, but also be mad at the fact that they're trying to keep the game alive. Like, this is the thing that I've learned. This is like, there's a part of me that just stopped giving a shit about everybody being upset or mad or outraged about something, because one, it only lasts for 2 days, right? And two, if you start listening to everybody, you're gonna miss out on some important bags yourself. The people with the least amount of ambition, understanding, and just logical reasoning are the ones that are going to be the loudest, that get upset over shit that they just quite frankly don't understand. And to sit here and worry about like, oh, if I make this decision, is the community going to get mad? Fuck you. Be mad about it. Sometimes things are going to be said that you don't like, and guess what? In a few months, a few weeks, more than likely a few days, you'll get over it. And that's like, I think from a content creation standpoint, like that's how we kind of have to be. Because there's always going to be somebody ready to talk some shit. But the greater point here is that, like, this, and Zero, what I think you're saying, like, it's become more normalized. Like, everybody is just, like, I'm looking at internet culture as a whole, and this is not different. Like, the Fortnite community is no different. But, like, internet culture right now is like, okay, who can we pin as a bad person today? Who's the villain today? Who can we vilify today? Oh yeah, we don't like you because you said this one thing. You're a terrible human being. Yeah, get him off. It's like it's like the witch hunts, bro. There's always a new witch that they're trying to burn at the stake every freaking week, and it gets to a point where it's like controversies don't even mean shit anymore. Because it's like in 2 days, you're like, what was it? When the Peterbot shit was going down, there were like 3 different people that the community was mad at in the course of that week. Loot and I were talking about this. It went from like, what was it? It was Peterbot to Kai Cenat to Nick A30. It was like in a week and a half's time. It's just like, bro, just like this culture is so tiring. Just to try to make everybody out to be the villain. But I don't know. It's just, I think, a byproduct of Fortnite. Once again, I think it's a byproduct of not just like how bad Fortnite's culture is, but like how bad internet culture is right now. That's just kind of how things are, and it's unfortunate. But
I think sometimes you just got to shrug your shoulders and move on.
Profound, pretty much.
Yeah.
Fortnite just needs more like of a reward system.
Well,
It's like there needs to be like a bigger purpose to Fortnite than the battle pass, or like winning a game. Sure, it's great, right? But what's actually like good? Like what's great about it? Like what does it go? What's the point of it?
I think
there needs to be more purpose.
I think there needs to be. Yeah, I agree. There needs to be more purpose. Wow, where'd you get that word from, Lou? I think
I learned it when I was like 1.
Okay. I think there needs to be like a more like a different objective than just the victory royale. Like I've said this before, and this might be a hot take, but I feel like Fortnite should experiment with being like a looter shooter for a chapter. Like they should have in-game like rewards and cosmetics that have to be extracted, and you have to either win the game or find an extraction point in order to collect it.
That would be
something that's crazy
That'd be
too.
amazing.
Fortnite winning a game in Fortnite didn't even give XP until late chapter 5. It didn't give anything, but at least now I guess you get some like bonus XP, right? But before you got absolutely no XP either, which is like meant to be Fortnite's reward system, and you didn't get anything for winning the game. wild.
But we had the most fun, you know. But then again,
And I
go ahead.
Go
My
ahead.
bad. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, like I was just gonna say real quick. Like I remember BO3, like something that me and my friends would always talk about was the dark matter camo. I've never wanted anything more in a video game in my life than the dark matter camo in Black Ops 3. And there is nothing in Fortnite where I feel like that. Like nothing where it's like, even if it was just something simple, like how it works in COD, like you just have to get a certain number of kills. Or you have to be a certain like prestige or something like that. Like your level
Yeah.
resets. They could easily do that every season. You know what I mean? And as soon as you get to a certain level, or like after you get to a certain prestige, you unlock a new page of the battle pass, and you don't even know what's there until you unlock it. Like just stuff like that. That would
It's-
make me want to play.
It's
more.
still fun
That
to
would be
play.
cool, actually.
It's definitely still fun. It's still fun to play, but like, yeah, like there's not a bigger goal with it. Like it's not like you're having fun and you're thinking, oh, I'm like also ranking this up. Like I guess like you're completing your battle pass, right? But that's just.
But it just feels like it's just like drinking coffee in the morning, right? It's just part of the routine.
Yeah.
It's like, yes,
Exactly.
3:45 p.m. Trying to get with the boys
mind.
and get another page on my battle pass. Like, yay, you know?
You're not thinking. You're not even like thinking in your mind. Like, all right, I need to get like a certain amount of kills this game so I can do this. Like, or like I need to get this done. You're not even thinking that. And the thing with the battle pass, they even removed autoclaim again, or like you're not gonna be thinking about it because like you're gonna like. Clark, yes, was it today or yesterday? You're like, oh, I've got some rewards to claim. Like you didn't even know you had like 30 rewards to claim.
Yeah, I'm just letting them stack up until like until I complete the like battle pass. I don't even care about like going through the pass and like claiming.
Crazy.
I'm just doing it.
It's
But
crazy.
I honestly like what prozero was saying though. Like imagine like grinding through a battle pass, but because you complete certain activity. Oh my god. Imagine they did a battle pass, right? But it worked like a skill tree. And so you've got you've got the main battle pass where you can see what your rewards are going to be, but going off of prozero's idea, there's sections of the pass that are locked, and like depending on what actions you take throughout a season, like that will unlock a different part of the pass. Oh my god, bro, that would be.
And it can't. But the thing is too is cool. It can't be like stupid brain dead actions. It can't be like destroyed 25 trees.
Structures,
like
yeah.
It needs to, yeah, it needs to be something like 15 kill games or something like that. Or like
but they have to mean something, not bots.
Just stuff that you actually have to actively think about doing. Because like some of the challenges, it's like, oh well, I just ate 10 apples. There's my weekly quest. I didn't even know that was a weekly quest.
Right,
you know
exactly.
I mean? So like, just it has to be something you have to actively think about doing.
That's the thing, and that's what I was kind of alluding to earlier. Like I don't do challenges anymore. That's because the challenges are literally play Fortnite. Hey, destroy 15 structures. Hey, get 10 eliminations. Hey, get a victory royale. Bro, victory royales are cheap now. Bro, Blitz
it's not
exists.
even a challenge anymore. It's not a challenge.
No, they literally hand out victory royales for free in Blitz. Like that, like it's so
because people get mad that they're not good.
That's why, like, and I disagree with Ninja so much on this. He was like, yeah, keep blitzing and take out reload. No, motherfucker, no. Reload is like the only experience where when I win, I actually feel like I fucking won. That's the only one, and maybe OG too, because OG is fairly difficult sometimes.
Yeah.
But like, reload is the one mode where it's like, nah, bro. When even if there's a few bots in the lobbies, I'm coming across some real players, and like I'm having to actually fight for my Vic Roy. I don't know, man. It's a lot of things. Once again, I'm happy I brought y'all on to have this conversation today, because it's not as easy as like, oh, the game's doing great and everything's the same, and it's also not as easy as, yep, Fortnite's dead, fucking it's over, Tim Sweeney ruined it. You know, like it's like those are both two extremes. But I think it's important that you have the dialogue about like, okay, well, what's actually going on? What are the stats saying? Okay, what do we think is the effect of certain decisions that have been made, and just have like a chill, reasonable conversation about like everything that's been going on. But guys, I really, seriously, I enjoyed this so much. I thank you for jumping on with me today. Bro, this was fun. I honestly, I did not think I was gonna have this much fun in this conversation, but I'm working on a video right now about all my thoughts on where Fortnite's at the moment, and this has helped me tremendously. I had a whole outline of a script already down I wrote before the stream today, and it helped me kind of come up with questions for you guys. But I just, like I said, I really appreciate y'all coming on. Prozero, like it's an honor to have you on and be able to talk to you.
I
This is
appreciate
great, man.
that.